Anna, do I have your consent to record?
Absolutely, yeah. That's good.
It says I'm already recording though. Do you get a message on your end that I'm recording?
Yeah.
Oh.
Can I click on dismiss? No, just kidding.
You are now recording the conversation. Okay. Hide. Cool. Okay, so as we talked about, today we're gonna go over Vimeo on demand. Great documentary content space. Share screen. All right.
So do you pay for this?
Yes, you do pay for specific videos that you purchase or rent. Oh, this is Vimeo on demand. Is it? Okay, boom. We're here. Can you see what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So,
Right.
let's take a look through this.
First like impression. Pretty consistent, well designed. I like that they change colors when they change the section, so
Mm-hmm.
that it kind of informs the eye that it's a different part of the site or a different section. So that's
Mm-hmm.
just like a design detail, but it's very important for yeah. And then
Mm-hmm.
what else?
I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean, not obvious, but it's pretty common now in on the web. But like even just something as obvious as having this like scroller on the side to show how far you are down the list,
Right.
so you just know
Yeah.
where you are in this whole experience. Let's go through to. I have to say though, um, uh, this whole logo design, it kind of gives me a bit of dissociation almost,
Hmm.
because um, like it's not related to anything I've seen before
Of the brand itself, you're saying?
of the brand. Well, this is really small of the brand, but mostly of like it's not connected to anything that I understand in my real world. So, like, if you want to be technical, principle number two: match between the system and the real world. If I understand, okay, it's like I'm watching videos. Yes, I'm liking something of some sort, and then I'm like, it makes sense. I'm supporting creators when I like it. I'm watching videos, but this for some, I don't know why. Maybe it's the clutter. Maybe it's because I don't. This feels too much like Google Drive,
Mm.
but there's something there that kind of like just put me back. I don't know how to put it into more words than that.
Yeah, I feel like it should be at the top. So you know what the usual, what the logo is, the Vimeo logo
Uh-huh.
is. I
Exactly.
feel like they should make a way, like maybe create another icon beside the normal Vimeo logo that shows you, okay, now you're on Vimeo on demand and not on the normal Vimeo, if that makes sense.
Right.
So I feel like YouTube does this. Um,
Mhm. YouTube Premium does it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it does. And then, like, depending on what YouTube you are, maybe you are on YouTube Canada or YouTube America. America doesn't probably show it, but YouTube Canada has like CA beside it,
Uh-huh.
just to differentiate between those two kind of country platforms. So find a way of bringing this, taking it out of the bottom of this section and just creating an icon right at the top. Because I find that it's really distracting.
Hmm.
Because you look, because your first So when you look at the page first, you see the Vimeo logo at the top, and then you go straight to the Vimeo on demand at the bottom. It's like a weird kind of path to take.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah, exactly. And then in doing that, you skip a bunch of information that you kind of want to process but don't know how to process. Like,
exactly.
I think that's a big thing. Yeah, I think the big thing is like what it is should be like really clear first before giving me content pieces to digest, because that already is
Mhm.
like really intense information overload, especially for something that's I'm assuming I'm a new user on this right now, and which I am. So I am seeing this in the lens of a new user, and this is a bit just slightly overwhelming. And
Mhm.
on that note, I'd say like this area of Vimeo is not consistent with my prior experience with Vimeo. Um,
Mhm.
like my experience with Vimeo throughout all of my life has been like really bright pages like this.
Mhm.
Like it's just a very bright interface and very spaced out interface with not a lot of information, mostly visuals. My internet's being quite slow. Come on,
I
German
found,
internet. Yeah, like
maybe it's me. I found Vimeo a little a little slow.
yeah.
But I was thinking maybe it's my computer, maybe it's, yeah, it's just like the imagery itself was taking a lot of time to load
Mm,
um, when I was scrolling earlier.
true, interesting. Maybe Vimeo's really not doing so well there. But yeah, like so this is my experience with Vimeo. It's like a lot of just visuals that call out to you. Um,
Mhm.
and so that even the format here with such like I guess like bigger photos and text heavy photos felt kind of different. Like mind you, I guess it's a completely different service. It's a completely different service. So maybe like they have to serve you in a different way, and it's a different viewing experience too. Like viewing in the dark and
Mhm.
that association we have with movies and with a lot of like content streamers now that give you like a darkened experience.
Mhm.
That mode, and Netflix obviously is fairly dark, so maybe that's
Uh,
what they want to do.
yeah, and I was thinking it's probably like again positioning. I feel like when I'm scrolling on this video on demand website, it reminds me of Amazon Prime Video or whatever that's called.
Ah, interesting.
So maybe they're trying to take that kind of aesthetic from, and basically knowing that their main audience might be on the Amazon Prime looking for like to rent videos, then they kind of use the same structure so that they are familiar with it. Same structure and kind of color combinations as well, because that the colors are really similar too. It's like I look at it,
Hmm,
I'm like, wait, it feels like Amazon kind of.
interesting.
Um,
So you're saying
yeah.
it's not, it doesn't have to be consistent towards its own site or own brand, but if it's consistent towards the general experience of what watching movies is like throughout all platforms, then that can um, like it creates consistent like psychological consistency in
Yeah.
another way, right? It doesn't need to be
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's another like design kind of principle slash not framework, but yeah. So for and as an example, do you know the app Depop?
Yeah.
Yeah, Depop, the app like that allows you
Right
to
out.
buy stuff and from like even designer pieces from people and stuff. When you use the app, you realize that it uses the same structure as Instagram.
Mm,
Like those square image photos and like literally the same format, and you're like, why are they doing this? It's because they know their main target audience uses Instagram and maybe starts on Instagram and then it looks at like fashion or slash like YouTube content creators, and then they're like promoting a certain shoe, like a clothing, and they're like, oh my gosh, I want this piece. And then they open Depop and they're like, where can I find this? And so it's like it kind of it's a bridge basically. Like they just find a way to bridge users from one platform to the other by creating a visual consistency and using the same frameworks and structures, hierarchies.
Yeah, I can't think of a better example than Instagram and Depop. Yeah, especially because these, like I said, they have the same audience type, so the same audience, like same type of like behaviors, and so someone who knows how to use Instagram is going to easily know how to use Depop. So that's really cool. How do you feel about these icons here? On the note of like, I guess how much it's similar to things that you already know. I don't know what this is. Like, I'm not too sure what that is.
It's a ticket.
This chip.
It looks like a ticket to me.
Oh, huh.
From here.
It looked like a computer chip to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not clear.
Like this is clear,
Yeah.
but also
Yeah, the
really,
second icon is like, oh,
yeah.
window.
Yeah.
It's cloud. Downloading cloud, like downloading from a cloud. But it's still unclear though, because you download, but is it yours? Like, do you like when you download the movie? Does it become yours?
Let's find out. Ooh, this is nice.
Self-discovery for social service.
Yes, it does tell you. So
Oh, so you buy and you download anytime. Okay. 24-hour streaming. Okay. I kind of understand the analogy here. They're like, it's a ticket, movie ticket, because it's like you're going to the movies and you buy one ticket and it's a one ticket, like one time use. Even if it's 24-hour, it's still like you only have 24 hours and then it's not yours anymore. So it's like
yeah,
one time.
but I feel like this association is not like the perfect one. Like a ticket, and then the word rent, and then the word 24-hour association. Like those are just. It feels like three different ideas. You know, like I feel like this is a single time purchase that is where there's only one point in time, whereas this is like an, a, a lengthier period of time, and then this is just what I don't know. Maybe I'm just not part of this like market enough to like be so familiar and aware of that.
How can what visual icon or icon can represent it well? Can we use instead?
I would do the same thing, but then put a 24-hour logo on top, like a 24 like, and then and for this one I'd make it unlimited or something like that. That's what I would do. Maybe
Yeah. I feel like one could be, so the top one could be like you just write 24-hour, like 24 and then HR or something.
Yeah.
And then the bottom would be like the unlimited logo. Like the 8, reverse 8 or something. Because even like this one, the bottom one confuses me because I'm stream plus download anytime.
It's good though. Like it did answer your question of what like what downloading meant. So stream and download anytime. Now it explains it, and rent 24-hour stream period. So this is really good. It does give you information of where you can watch it. I had a big question about what the hell receiving updates would mean, but like right on here, everything is kind of presented to you afterwards. And I guess that is principle number 10, just like help and documentation. You don't need to go to like a help section for all of this. It's all kind of just like, yeah, here's your information, here's your information here, here's your information here, which is so
Mhm.
important for like a relatively kind of new product offering to a market that doesn't know how to buy these things yet. You know,
Mhm.
you make it obvious how to do it. Like you just make things specifically more easier to use. Anyway, um, aesthetic and minimalistic design.
But first of all, before we talk about that,
Sure.
I wanted to mention something about where we find Vimeo on demand. Because I looked at how you access the platform. You have to click on watch and then click on demand.
Yeah.
And I wonder why they did that. I wonder, like, is it on purpose that it's kind of far, in my opinion? Um, is it like why is it there? Why not more prominent somewhere on Vimeo's?
Uh
I
huh.
don't know. I really wonder why they're hiding it in some ways.
Mhm.
Um, because even if you find it, like let's say you open watch and you're like, oh, what's under this drop down menu, and you look at the those choices, and on demand is at the bottom, but you still kind of wonder what does that mean? What it means, like
Mhm.
what's on demand? Like yes,
Yeah.
because you like most people, I've never heard of Vimeo on demand in my life. Like you're the first person that mentioned it to me.
Mhm.
Uh, so I just wonder why they're hiding it, if it's on purpose.
Mhm. Interesting, right? Like I imagine like a service like this. There would be an easier way to ease into or be educated about what it is, rather than like stumble upon watch, realize there's multiple categories. Okay, there's another subcategory. I'm gonna click on it, not know what it is, and then be dumped into all of this information, right? Like
Mhm.
I'd imagine. I mean, we have no idea what their product strategy is with this. Maybe it's just not their focus, and they're just experimenting. But like it
Yeah.
would be like a banner about like Vimeo on demand right here, like watch now on my
Mhm.
homepage, you know? And that's what I think Amazon does really well with its like when you're just shopping on Amazon, Amazon will tell you about Amazon Prime and Amazon like Prime Video and Audible. Like they all like
Mm.
do that, right? So that makes it really easy to be educated without having to I think I actually figured out about this on my own. Like, I don't think I had any type of advertising done to me or any type of education. I was just the other day I was like, huh.
Mhm.
So
But also, it's kind of part of Vimeo's brand, to be honest,
yeah,
to be kind of like low key, undergrounded,
yeah, yeah. That's true. It is. It is.
because they don't want to be YouTube, uh, or at least right now. I don't think they want to be like the next YouTube. They want to, like we're saying, they want to like make it independent films more accessible for people, and they want artists to also um, make a living out of it in some ways. So their goal is not necessarily to be like, oh, let's like overtake the market and be then the new like yeah, the number one video streaming platform, whatever.
Mm,
So maybe they're testing a platform, and they know that they won't make as much money from on demand right now, and it's fine. It's just like you were saying, they're experimenting, and their main goal is just to yeah. But still, I'm not too sure
mm-hmm,
why.
mm-hmm. Perfect. I don't think like there's a better way to put that. Like that, and that speaks a lot to what like Vimeo is as a brand, as a company, right?
Mhm.
So that's a big reason why I enjoy the folks at Vimeo so much. It's like they really they're really doing this a different, like they're really keeping close to um like the art and the craft rather than
Mhm.
money. and
Mhm.
and just growth alone. I think they have a cute section on the bottom of their website where it's like, made, yeah, here we go, made with love in NYC. You know, that's cute.
But
You would never notice that, you know.
yeah, um, I it's another subject, but talking about Medium, which you know Medium, right?
Yeah.
The blog posting, article posting platform. I remember in the early days, I love that platform a lot. Not
Yeah.
I'm not saying I hate it today, but it changed a lot, and they changed the model, their like monetization model. Now they're monetized. They used to be like super, yeah, they didn't need anything from their user, and the content was really interesting at the beginning. But right now, I find like it's becoming a very, yeah, just the same thing all over again, like 10 things to like blah blah and five things for. So it's like really standardized and gentrified in a way, if that applies to like online content.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I hope Vimeo stays as it is right now, and it doesn't have to like take a different route so that they can stay alive and kind of continue to like, yeah, to help people.
Really quick detour. We have to get back, but like, let's jump onto
Yeah,
Medium and see this out. Like the same thing for me happened with Quora. Did you use Quora?
what's going on?
Oh shoot! Wow, Quora is basically like really became popular about 2 years before Medium became popular, and it was basically the same thing. A lot of cool, intelligent, interesting people speaking about a lot of cool, interesting things, built in the format of Yahoo Answers. So people ask a question, and then tons of people respond.
Oh, right. I know Quora. I had an account, but I never use it. But
It used
it's
to be
really interesting,
really good.
like when I have random questions.
Yeah, but like, how do you look at how do you enjoy this feed? Like, would you say,
I think it's too much. It's hard to concentrate, to focus
yeah,
on.
right? It
Yeah,
doesn't feel like a space to go deep into anything anymore.
yeah,
It
yeah.
feels like another like viral news source. But I like that they have um, different publications,
Mhm.
and so you can kind of still find that like nook um, away from all the recommendation algorithms, I guess. Anyway, okay, so
Yeah,
we're back here.
yeah. I find it a little ADD, to be honest. It's like so much information. But yeah. Anyway, let's go back to.
Yeah, I like that there's consistency with their icons here in a Vimeo on demand against their regular viewing experience. So these are icons I all understand and know how to do, and then there's a boop right on top.
Mhm.
The numbers. I mean, obviously there has to be a lot of detailing behind like distribution, currency exchange, conversion prices, all of I mean, like different distribution rights, all of that. But it'd still be nice to have like a less sketchy looking number. um, okay, let's see what else we can look at. Think about here. Oh,
Hmm.
I think standard number, heuristic standard number. Where is it? Number number three. User control and freedom. Users often choose system functions by mistake and will need to find a clearly marked emergency exit to leave the unwanted state without having to go through extended dialogue. I think this could be better at that. I don't know how to get back to that screen, like apart from going back to here. You know,
Hmm.
there's no like back button. So then I got to go all the way back here, like through the menu, which is not already a good experience, not a very fluid experience at least.
Does on demand kind of gives you suggestions depending on the content you watch usually, but or like it doesn't really do that?
It doesn't seem like it is yet because I haven't bought anything, but it doesn't seem like it's matched with the content I'm currently watching. There's not that much um, connection between that. I guess they could get better at this, right? In some way, like seeing that I watch videos in like the female director genre and recommending me this. But it seems like, I mean, action sports is I never sports. What? That's like my least favorite thing in the world. They're recommending that. Um, but yeah, like again, like it's a complete side note again. A lot of side notes here, but I don't care. This is something that needs to be communicated. You keep 90% of the revenue after transaction fees. Go Vimeo. Go Vimeo for defending the rights and creative work of creators and filmmakers in the world. Like, go Vimeo. 90%. Good shit. Number 10, help and documentation. I mean, I didn't really need to. It was pretty straightforward for me, which is good. But if I did need help,
Can you click on one of those categories, or what? Like scroll up and then click on, let's say, like the staff rates. Let's say. No. Never mind. Go to, let's say, yeah, go to like best of action sports.
active sports.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't even know this was here. Okay.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay. What do you think about that?
Um, I mean, but I'll say I like the experience. Like each time it takes me into a film, they make sure that like I'm inside the visual world with all the colors and like with this this photo taking up such a large piece of it.
Mm.
Oh, and the video is built into the graphic too. Look at this. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's cool. Like it's part of it. Anyway, you were saying how I feel about not being able to, or not realizing that there's an other button here.
Mm-hmm. Because I saw it, but
I don't know. I guess I was confused as to how to like to access more. Like here, it's view all. Like I usually would click on a button like this and expect to be
right.
taken to a different page. Although it is inconsistent. Look, so this is view all here, and then now we have one here, and then
Mm-hmm.
this one doesn't even have it at all.
Yeah, I think they don't have enough, or like, yeah, it doesn't make sense anyway.
Yeah. Or yeah, and then we're going back to these. And then this entire section of collection just doesn't make sense in general to me because collections I would associate with their standard platform, like their standard video platform, and not with Vimeo on demand, like Vimeo Originals, Academy Awards. I guess Academy Awards is kind of movie-ish, but then when I see filmmaking and photography tutorials, I start to think like normal Vimeo. I think normal Vimeo, Vimeo on demand,
Hmm.
and normal Vimeo slash Vimeo on demand. So I guess it's confusing what collections is because I always associate collections with normal Vimeo. Like,
Interesting.
yeah, like that's a word they use. See, I didn't indie horror. So I guess it just speaks to the fact that it's confusing to be in a category where there's a bunch of indie filmmakers and making indie films, but also like there are also other indie films that are funded and win festivals and are like like this big. You see this all the festivals they won here.
Mm.
So like what's the line and where do you blur that? Like are you gonna have like literally a category for indie go-go crowded films? Is that part of the same experience?
Can you click on view all for one of them? I want to see what structure they use for them. Hmm. I'm not sure if I like this. I don't know.
They're working on it. Vimeo team, New York City, working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like it either. It was very different from everything else they have on their website.
What company would you like to work for as a UX person?
I'd want to do different contracts for different companies. Just like I said, just like we're working remotely and doing specific, like very specific things like usability testing or a specific feature or function, like the work that you were doing for that company in Vancouver. But Vimeo's not a bad company. I've grown up with them basically and like watched my
Mm.
friends make videos and enter film festivals through this platform and so they have a place in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I'm not particularly tied to anything. Maybe couldn't pull the word for though. Okay, so
Hmm.
wait. Here you'll find the best films with best being sold directly by the creators on Vimeo on demand, handpicked by our curation team. Wait, so this is the staff picks of Vimeo on demand.
Right.
So I guess that works because I already understand what the idea of staff picks is because I use Vimeo. But mixing staff picks in with Vimeo on demand is like there's a layer of complexity I don't understand yet because I associate staff picks with like indie videos, like short 2-minute indie films that like a student from New York design school, whatever, made and uploaded, and they got picked by their staff. And then I there's this clear separation between that and how I would view like film, like budget film,
Mm.
you know. So there's a lot of like dissonance there, a little slight confusion there. But overall, like I mean, they're still giving you the explanation. It's still wide and center, along with this.
What's that
Argument.
banner? What's the white? Oh, it's an ad?
Oh, is it an ad?
What is that?
Oh, that's not. I guess that's not. Send them an email. How do I send them feedback? So yeah, let's go through this. Like, okay, so let's say I wanted help. I wanted to know what the difference between Vimeo on demand and staff picks was. Whoa. Did I click on selling?
Setting up pre-orders. Oh, that's weird.
Purchasing, no, watching. So I want to know, let's say, if I want to rent or wait, what?
Oh, ah, that's
Vimeo,
wow.
Vimeo, what are you doing? What is this? So clearly, there's some work. Okay, so how to buy, subscribe, and rent. Um, yeah, cool, basic, accessible. Like, basic was this article helpful? Contact us and mini links. It's kind of hard to. Their contact option was really hidden though. You notice that?
The what? Was hidden?
Yeah, it was hard to access it. Like you had to go through an FAQ and then reach for like find contact us as a link. You know,
Hmm.
rather than be able to access it from the main page. Like, mind you, I think a lot of companies are doing this now because they want to save on the cost of how like, people like asking stupid questions that they could find on the FAQ, but still annoying.
Let's see.
Let's see how the documentation is.
I'm texting my friend to ask her about the Airbnb stuff. I think.
Hmm. So not too much obvious documentation for like someone who doesn't know what renting is on Vimeo on demand. Problem is there's a lot of clutter um, in their FAQ help center because they also have they serve sellers as much as they serve buyers. So they mix in content between selling videos and purchasing videos, and it's kind of hard to distinguish between them. So I mean, it does say it here. It does say it, but I'd like it for it to be more clear. Like if I'm mostly consumer and I have to bill through all of these,
Right.
result.
I think this problem is true for most digital platforms slash websites.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, and I don't, or no, I'm assuming that they don't consecrate too much of their time or resources to this.
yeah,
Hmm. Stuff pics.
cool. I'm pretty satisfied. I'm pretty satisfied. They need to find. I need to write them an email about this FAQ link redirect. But overall, still 9.5 out of 10. Cause 90%, 90% of revenue to the creators after transaction fees, you get a 90% on your evaluation Vimeo. You're still great. We still love you a lot. Okay.
Go see them in person.
Yeah. Creator focused. This should be here. The reason why I'm on Vimeo is to support creators. Anyway, I'm gonna stop recording now. That was fun.
Cool. That was fun.